Hello, I'm Melissa Taylor, Director of Strategic Long Range Planning, the Chattanooga Hamilton County Regional Planning Agency. And thank you for the opportunity to share our state and federal partners kickoff meeting for our 2050 Regional Transportation Plan. Give me a moment to share my screen. The Regional Transportation Plan is a federally mandated document for the Chattanooga-Hamilton County North Georgia Transportation Planning Organization, also known as the TPO. The plan process is conducted every 5 years. The last plan was adopted in January 2019. This plan, which staff began earlier this year, is expected to be adopted by January 2024. Yes, that's right. It takes 2 to 3 years to complete a regional transportation plan. In this presentation, I'll be reviewing the project team, study area and schedule, what's new in this plan compared to plans of the past, an outline of what will be contained in the final report or plan document, the stakeholder and public engagement process, and in lieu of a question and answer session, providing my contact information so you can send your own questions or comments. The Regional Planning Agency staff for this TPO project includes, but is not limited to, myself as the project manager, my team member Caroline Daigle as Community Education Lead, my team member Betsy Evans as the Environmental and Resilience Lead, the Director of Research and Analysis, Ewan Lee, and support from consultants Modern Mobility Partners, Arcadis, and WSP. The planned study area includes all of Hamilton County in Tennessee, all of Catoosa County, and portions of Dade and Walker counties in Georgia. In total, that's 19 jurisdictions across 2 states, which means that all of the federal funding that will flow into our region in the future will be guided by this planning process. As I mentioned, the plan takes 2 to 3 years to complete. So what all does the staff do during that time? As you can see here, public engagement is conducted throughout that 2 to 3 year time frame, and each public engagement process or phase is vetted by the Community Advisory Committee, a group of transportation stakeholders from various community organizations we call the CAC. We are in the process of putting that group together now, and it will be available on our project website by the first part of April. The staff and consultant teams must also work to prepare a performance-based project evaluation process to ensure federal funds are spent on projects that meet national goals as well as regional priorities. We will be working on updating this part of the project through the fall of this year. At the end of this summer, we will also present to our CAC and the public existing conditions and trends about our population, employment, economic growth, and travel conditions so that we understand the community for which we are planning transportation futures. As people may want different futures, the staff and consultant teams will propose analyses in which alternatives to future transportation outcomes yield different results, and then compare those with analyzed needs from modeling and other data sources, as well as the public interest, which can take several months. During this time between the summer of 2021 and the summer of 2022, a call for projects will be conducted with the 19 jurisdictional partners, the 2 states, and the transit agency to develop and evaluate a list of projects. These will be shared with the public and paired to the alternative futures and needs analysis to determine if additional projects are warranted. A final evaluation of all projects will be conducted in the fall and winter of 2022 in order to fund the top performing projects with the available projected revenues for a 20-year horizon, hence the year 2050. These projects are endorsed by the Transportation Planning Organization, which is the legal entity or otherwise the executive board, and included in the plan drafted in the spring of 2023 for review by state and federal partners. in the summer and fall of 2023. Final approval by the Executive Board must occur in January of 2024 or sooner. All regional transportation plans must include federally mandated content. There is a lot of flexibility, though, in terms of focus on specific needs or areas for improvement or new planning efforts to prepare for unanticipated changes. For this 2050 plan, the staff and consultant teams are working towards more effective and accessible public engagement, offering more digital information which would be accessible at any time during the process, such as videos like this one, and more educational materials with accompanying maps that tell a story about the data and locations experiencing specific transportation issues. Confronting congestion and ensuring we are planning for the movement of people and goods is a top priority. In this plan, we want to make sure we are aware of and planning for new technologies and evaluating the issue of equity and resilience. We need to plan for the unknown to be better prepared for life-changing circumstances like the coronavirus pandemic and be ready to deliver projects more quickly by getting a jump start on environmental concerns and constraints that can be tackled early and some impacts or financial burdens which could be avoided. Simply put, we want to think ahead and prepare more. The final report or plan document needs to be readily available and easy to read. The document will have a short executive summary to hit the major outcomes. The remaining content will adequately address federal requirements, an overview of the process we undertook with our CIC and the public, the plan's vision and outcomes, the existing and future conditions, those unknowns I mentioned earlier, and how projects evaluated and prioritized and were funded to meet the vision, the system needs, and our ability to be resilient and cope with the unknowns. The document will also include an appendices where more information on every stage of the process can be found. These plans must be justified, reasonable, and realistic. Appropriate assumptions and methodologies should accompany every decision, and the appendices enable the inclusion of all that material in an organized way. Stakeholder and public engagement is critical to ensuring a plan maintains its justification, level of reasonableness, and is grounded in public reality. There will be 4 Community Advisory Committee meetings that are conducted in advance of sharing information with the public to do the best job we can to vet our assumptions and methods prior to asking the public for feedback or their opinions. The public should be able to trust the data and information they review so their opinions are meaningful. For this planning process, we've taken a new approach to the plan's public interface. The project website and our email distribution list will be fully integrated with our mapping functions and data so that we can share our findings more quickly and in a more user-friendly way throughout the entire process. The public website should be up and running by the first week in April 2021 as the plan gets fully underway. Thank you for your time, and please stay involved. You can send questions or comments to me at my email address mdtaylor@chattanooga.gov and/or our lead consulting partner, Kelly Kemp, at kkemp@modernmobilitypartners.com.